to Q&A from the car.
Q&A car edition.
Car edition. You guys have so many good questions.
Yes.
And if you're joining us and you didn't watch the last couple of videos, we're doing a Q&A today. We used to do Q&A Friday every week, but it's just too much because Thursdays are crazy for us.
Yes.
So we are just doing them
periodically.
Yeah. And it's time.
It's time. And plus, you start, when you're doing them like every single week, you get a lot of like repeat, and then it's so it's nice to like do it every once in a while, because then it feels like fresh and like, oh, this is fun, you know?
Yes. So anyway, but first we have a big thank you.
A very special thank you to Emily, who's EC Boyle. She comments a lot, and we actually met her in person. You guys saw her on the vlog. Was it a week ago? Yeah, I'll say it was a week ago. And she sent us the sweetest gift, which, by the way, you guys never have to do that, but it was so, like, it just like made my whole day. It's like a rainy, nasty day, and when I got it today, I was like, oh my gosh. So she got me a Kentucky cup, coffee mug, which I loved, because y'all know how much I love a good coffee mug.
Yes, yes, she does.
And I love to collect those Starbucks Where You At mugs. I have them from all over, and I did not have them from Kentucky, so thank you so much.
Well, there you go.
And then she got Harper a train, another piece to his little train.
And it's the Cincinnati Reds, I think.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
it is.
They live close to Cincinnati, even though they live in Kentucky.
Yes. He loved it. He's been playing with it all day long.
Yeah,
all day.
Put it down.
We had to like put the track together the second we got home. And then a sweet Goodnight Elmo book, which I cannot wait to read to him at night, because we always love a good nighttime book. We do that every night. And then I'm forgetting something. I think that's it. I think that was it.
That's good. Thank you, Emily. And Harper, thanks you
so much, Emily.
That was so sweet.
It was
so great to meet you.
So sweet. It was so awesome to meet you. So thank you so much.
We're gonna dive right in and get as many as we can, and just go from there.
Yeah. So, Conster326, first of all, says Harper.
Connie. Hi, Connie.
Yes. She just says that Harper is the cutest, and I just agree with you. And she said that was the best bye ever, and I agree with you. That
I mean,
bye.
You were like, I cannot make this up right here.
I know, it was so cute. So she said, so Olivia, I know today this was, let's see. It was actually, obviously, on yesterday's vlog. So, I know today is the anniversary of your BL finale. I was wondering, as you look back on your time on the show, is there anything you wish you would have done different? Also, what has been your biggest struggle since the show ended? So yeah, yesterday was my 6-year anniversary of winning the show, which is crazy.
Woo, you're awesome!
It's just crazy to think that it's been that long.
Yeah, really.
But yet it feels like it was yesterday, but it also feels like it was like 100 years ago. Yeah. Like, it's just so much has happened.
We do almost have a 2-year-old.
Right. I mean, it's crazy. But that also feels like that was yesterday. So, no. I wouldn't do anything different. I wouldn't change anything, because I feel like if I would change anything, it maybe would have changed the outcome or my experience in some way. And I'm really proud of how I did and how I maneuvered myself through that experience. Like, I definitely wouldn't change anything for sure. I think maybe if I had to pick something, like, I would really make sure that I think in the moment you're just trying to like survive and to be there and to go through all this stuff, and I wish like I would have had the capacity to kind of take in more moments maybe, like, and just because some of it I just don't remember. Like, I watch it back and go, oh man, I forgot about that, or I don't remember that, or whatever. And
maybe you should have been vlogging.
Yeah, well, they were vlogging, essentially.
They were vlogging, yeah, really.
But anyways, yeah. And then what's my biggest struggle since the show ended? I think, I mean, obviously the most obvious is keeping the weight off. That's the biggest struggle. And then also about continuing to find balance in my eating and, emotionally how I feel about my body and this journey. And it's just a consistent journey always. So I hope that answers your question. Thanks for that. That was so good. And then Lisa this was just amazing. This was a nice comment. She just said, y'all are such a beautiful, loving family. It's a great testimony of the Lord's love and grace. And I mean, he has loved us so much over the years, as he does to everybody, and the amount of grace we have received has been tenfold.
Absolutely.
Oh, and then, see, Joe Kautzman asked, she loved my dress. Where did I get it? I'm guessing.
That was yesterday's, the black one?
Yes, that's from the Gap, actually, and they have it right now. And it's, I live in dresses like that over the summer. Like dresses in Converse or dresses in flip-flops. I just find they're so easy for me, and I feel so much more comfortable in a dress like that than I do shorts for some reason. I don't know why. As I've gotten older, shorts just feel less and less more comfortable to me. I don't know. I'm just weird that way. If I'm a little more tan, I feel maybe, but this is like the weirdest answer anyways. But yeah, I got it from the Gap. And then what bars do I eat? I have a handful of different bars that I eat. I eat the RX bars, which are great. My two favorite flavors are the maple sea salt and the chocolate sea salt. Those are my two kind of go-tos. I also will eat, if I'm not somewhere where if I can't get those, I will always eat a Think Thin bar in its place, which is definitely not, the ingredients aren't as clean by far, but they're available. And sometimes, like, I just need to run into CVS and get a bar that I know is gonna taste okay.
More places have those RX bars, those.
Yeah, absolutely. They're becoming more and more prevalent. And then, of course, in a pinch, I'll eat a layer bar.
I'm a layer bar guy.
Ben loves layer bars.
I love a good layer
Harper loves a good layer bar. So, anyways, that's that. Let's see. Renee M asked, will Olivia and Hannah revive their My Fitspiration channel?
Yes, will you?
We talk about it all the time. I really, really want to, and I need to just do it. It was kind of one of those things where we just both, I got super uninspired, like, and so it was just kind of, and like, I got pregnant and had Harper, and then she got pregnant right after me, and it was just like, and there's a part of me that really regrets not documenting my whole pregnancy experience on there. But I mean, maybe if there's another one, then maybe we might be where all the wars might have a little bit of footage. Right. So, but I definitely want, I have some ideas for My Fitspiration. I have this thing that I've been cooking in my mind called the Sunday Sound Check, that I kind of want to, that Ben helped me come up with that. Anyway, so that I'm really, in the next, hopefully, month or so, I want to start putting, I mean, your editor is here and ready for because my editor has so much time, because he's not editing anything or anything, like, exactly. So big deal. Let's see. Oh, this is for Ben. Harper and Ben are seriously twinsies. I know they totally are. This is from Emily Boyle. I had a question about running. I know Olivia used to run as well. My question was, what is the best way to start and to build up? Any running advice? I've asked for a spin bike for Christmas, but thought running in the meantime would be fun. So, oh, and also Olivia, let us know about your new Glossier stuff. Go ahead, you go first. Running, yeah. I mean, literally when I was like 100 pounds overweight, that's what I did basically. And I would just start out on the treadmill doing these, you know, you just walk for a while, run for a while. You have a very specific thing they taught you, like Chris Ross Lang taught you about doing a rundown and stuff, which I think is great. And I think you did, I'll link it to My Fitspiration video. Yeah, there is, it's like a rundown video that says like how I started. On the treadmill, you sit there and you show. But I will say, I'm a little more simpler than that, in that I run as much as I could and then I would walk. And I'd run as much as I could and I'd walk till I was just running. And then number two is to get a plan. Like at our church, we did a World Vision half marathon, and way out in advance I signed up for it. And that's actually how I lost most of the rest of my weight, because it just gave me a plan, and it was super simple. At the beginning it was just time. It wasn't like go run 4 miles. It was just run, you know, just a certain amount of time. So if you have anything like that, and there's tons of stuff online, even the Nike app will give you something to train for, but there was something about doing it together. And my friend Juan, he was the head of Team World Vision, and so we'd run together, and even though he was so much faster than me, he'd run at my pace, and we'd meet at Central Park and run, and we'd do all this, and there's something about the community of that really helped you. Don't go too crazy, because you don't want to hurt yourself and not be able to run. I'd say in the beginning, just a little bit, like maybe just once a week, seriously, or once or twice a week, spread it out, give yourselves at least a couple days to recover. Ice, stretching, like pre and post running, I think is the most important thing, even if you're just starting. And I would not shy away. I read this in Runner's World one time, but is that
after only 20 minutes of running, you begin to burn stored fat.
Yeah.
Which is not the fat from the day. That's the stuff you're trying to get rid of, right? So don't shy away from, I mean, you know, like 25-minute run, or, you know, something like that.
Even if you're having to stop and start.
Oh yeah, no. It doesn't even matter. As a matter of fact, most studies say that running slower is better for you as far as weight loss and stuff like that, and for your injuries. So, just do it. The most important thing is do it.
That's right. That's right.
So.
And then as far as my Glossier stuff goes, for those of you, Glossier is it started by one of the girls, her name is Emily, that she was on the hills like a million years ago, and then she started a blog called Into the Gloss, and now she has like a makeup line called Glossier, and it's a very affordable, I say affordable, it's more expensive than the drugstore, but it's definitely not as expensive as going to like Sephora and like buying stuff. So it's actually really nice, and the packaging is very simple, kind of like Alchemist looking kind of packaging, I would say. Or chemist kind of looking stuff. Anyways, I have tried like a handful of their products. I have repurchased twice the Glossier Skin Tint. I have it on right now. I really, really like it. I use it in the color medium, I believe. And
can I pause you for 1 second? Yeah. Because in the mirror, Harper's holding up his little iPad-like toy. He's saying, hello? Hello? So anyway, keep going.
Anyways, I really like that a lot. It's very light coverage. It is literally like a tinted moisturizer, but I really like that, especially if I'm getting ready to go ride SoulCycle for 2 hours. But I feel the most comfortable with a little bit of makeup on. Not that I don't feel comfortable without it, but it's just what makes me feel comfortable. Plus, this is my job, and I like need to look put together and whatever. Yeah. Anyways, I also did the boy brow recently, which is a brow gel, which is fantastic. I have it on also today. It's very natural. I love it. It just makes my brows look like put together. And I stink at putting my brows on. Like it's one of the parts of my makeup that I've just never done well. And then I also bought and have tried the Generation X matte like lip. That is a pass for me. Like it was fine. Like I like it. I use it because I bought it, but I have things that are cheaper and way better, like the L'Oreal Le Matte, or I think it's the Le Matte line, those long stick crayon ink. That is much better. I think that's like $8 versus like 16 or however much it is. So that was a pass for me. But Glossier.com is where you can check out their stuff. Their stuff is really good. Like even, I haven't tried any of their skincare, but people go crazy about their milky jelly cleanser that's supposed to be really good. I know you're super interested in this, but
I mean, I am. But you know,
we are the Wards crowd has spoken, right?
That's right.
So Emily, go get you some. You'll like all that stuff. Sloan loved the mega vlog, which thank you, Sloan, because we debated about putting up the mega vlog. I like a really long vlog every once in a while.
This was gonna be really a mega vlog.
Well, but this is Q&A.
The Q&As are traditionally long.
Let's see. Oh, this is a great, just a tip, which I love this. Robin Kidd said she loved Harper's Bye, which I did too, which is so cute. Oh. She said he has the sweetest smile, which I totally agree. It's like one of my favorite things about him is his smile. I just think he is just, love him. She said, by the way, when her husband had knee replacement surgery, she pricked a vitamin E capsule and rubbed the liquid on his scar every night and massaged around it. The doc said it was the best looking scar he had seen. So if you aren't completely satisfied with what you're using, try the vitamin E. So thank you so much for that. It's really interesting. I've had so many people suggest the vitamin E stuff. I will just give you all a quick update. It's been only 24 hours since I put that scar, and I was shocked at what it looked like compared to yesterday. Like it was so much. It was like completely flat.
It's like that in combination with that baby skin that's just like.
I mean, that baby skin is like turns over cells like this. It's amazing. So, but the good thing is once I get this like routine going, especially when we're at home, I want to so he's not having to wear that Band-Aid on his head all the time. I want to really put some vitamin E on there. So thank you for that so much. I will definitely look into that.
Didn't she ask too about your schedule? Her schedule's always on the SoulCycle website. If you're always wondering.
Yeah, if you ever want to know, like, as a matter of fact, I had, like, Emily came and saw me. Even if you don't want to ride, just stop by Soul Cycle. Emily came and
after your last class is usually the best. It's harder before because it's all.
You're right, because I'm getting ready to go in, but like when I'm done.
But like 15 or 20 minutes after the class, and just tell them you're there to see Olivia.
Yeah, either at East 63rd in Lexington or East 83rd and 3rd. I'm always there all the time.
Yeah.
Except for Wednesdays, I'm not there, but y'all know that. And let's see. Oh yeah. Yes, she said. Robin also asked, do I ever have a day off? Not really. I'm working on finding balance again.
Yes.
Because I've just added this new job. So I'm gonna really have to start to really kind of like compartmentalize my time. But what has happened and what's so hard is because my teaching schedule is so crazy, and not crazy, but it's like just random times, I guess. And then the times I do have, I do want to spend sometimes with Harper, or I'm watching him, or you know, whatever. So Wednesdays is like the day that I actually have time to do things. So it ends up on my end, I end up being like, oh well, I'll just do it on Wednesday. Yeah, I know it's my day off the bike, but my mom is always telling me you also need to step back for your brain, and I think I get so burnt out, and y'all know I get to the point where I'm so burnt out, and it's because of that. So
the idea of Sabbath and just just taking away, even if it doesn't feel like you can, just making that's a practice to do that. So.
Yes, and they will be visiting Shelter Rock Church on Sunday.
Oh yeah, Robin came before. I'm in Manhasset. If you watch this before Sunday, I'll be in Manhasset this week. The easiest one to get to.
I am so sad because I won't be there this Sunday because I have to teach, which is so annoying. That's the only thing that's annoying about my job, is like, because I'm not going to be able to teach Monday night because my class got cut because of the holiday. They always try, and I appreciate it so much, they always try to balance my schedule because I don't get paid a salary on my teaching side. I get paid per class, which is a very good wage. Like, I'm not complaining at all because I make very good money, but like, if I miss a class,
it's always just there's so much pressure in that kind of thing. Any of you that work commission or anything like that, it's
or you
all
work
the
from
same.
Home, you work for yourself.
It's like if you don't work, you don't get paid.
so for me,
it's
that's
such pressure with vacation. It's just all the time.
It's very hard.
It's a lot,
It's hard. So anyway, and also we were just gone to Dothan, so I'm also trying to like make up. Anyway, so I'm so sad I won't be there to meet you as well, but if you want to come to one of my classes, you're welcome to do that as well. Heather Nathanson loved the closing of the vlog with Harper. Everybody, it's the best. It's so
best.
Good. So Monique says she just loves Harper smiles and coos in the mornings. Me too. Another question for tomorrow, and not a judgmental one. This is coming from my own personal mom guilt vault. Do you have any guilt over letting Harper watch TV? I definitely do let my son James watch TV some, but I always feel terrible at my doctor's appointment when they say no TV before 2. Mom guilt is a crazy thing because of course we all watch TV and we're just fine. Just curious what your thoughts are. Let's see, and then Jana Floyd said, our forums ask how much screen time do they have per day. I have a hard time putting down the true answer. Yeah, right. Totally. Here's the thing. My pediatrician says the same thing. No screen time till 2, blah, 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 blah. My answer is twofold. First is, I think it also depends on what you're letting your child watch, first and foremost. I have some of the best memories of my entire life watching Disney movies with my family. Oh, yeah. Like, to this day, I can remember so many of the songs, so when he is watching like a movie or something like Finding Dory or something like that, usually I'm sitting with him and it's an activity we're doing together. So I feel like I'm not just like turning it, unless I'm having like a meeting or something where I really just need him to focus on something while I get something else done. And that's also part of life, you know what I mean? Like, I think there is a skill of also using that as a tool. Now, I might be reaching here, but this is how I view it. Because I think I'm so weird that I think Ben has more guilt about it than I do. I don't have any guilt about it whatsoever. I don't know. I come from a very big TV family though, also. Oh, yes. I mean, we always watch TV, but I don't know, like, I feel like I turned out okay, like, do you know what I mean? Like, we don't though let him have tablet, like, he doesn't have like a iPad. I don't let him do any of that.
But he might, I mean,
as he gets older, for sure. But like, the only time that he does watch TV is if we're in the house, which, to be fair, you know, living in New York City, we also only have one tiny room to live in, pretty much, our living room. And for him, that's also like, that's just a reality of keeping him occupied.
Yeah.
And, you know, he does go to a playground almost every single day, which I think a lot of other kids that maybe have a backyard don't get the chance to do that. He goes out, he experiences things with other kids and things like that. So I feel like it's a balance, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's so many educational programs, and I know there's all these studies that it doesn't, but I think it does.
I totally disagree with that. I know, I'm sure, like, I'm not a scientist, and I'm not a child psychologist or whatever, but like, I mean, he watches Curious George, like, I mean, he watches, like, Dinosaur Train. He loves Dinosaur Train. And granted, he's not going to remember anything about the Cretaceous period because he's too young for that. But still, it's like...
No, it's good. But I do think also there is just a balance. I mean, I think it's okay to feel a little bit of like, oh, okay, well, today we're just going to do less of it.
Absolutely.
Because you shouldn't just... I don't think you want to be totally comfortable with it.
Totally.
Does that make sense? Like, there's a little bit of something of, okay, you know, it's been great today because he hasn't watched TV at all. He's done all these other things, and that's great. There should be a balance like that.
And we have the TV on a lot, like, not, we don't have cable, but like, you know, I will watch like YouTube videos or vlogs and stuff, and when that's on, he doesn't care. He could care less.
No, and I will say that is a little bit different, something I like, because if you have cable, you just usually have something on in the background. We don't do that. Yeah. We have to actually pull up something to watch if we want to watch something. And I found that that's a good thing.
Totally.
That's different than when I grew up, because you just, if you have cable, you just always have it on. Not to say that's bad, just to say it does keep you from that mindless, just like I just all of a sudden got like.
And then there is also another part of me that when like pediatricians say that, I want to be like, would you like to come and watch my son for a week? And no TV. As a matter of fact, I'll just pull all the cords out of the wall. Would you like to take him on a plane without letting him watch a movie or something? If you would like to give that little, you know, thing a try, go ahead. And I'm not, and then multiply that by 365 days a year, because you know what I mean? It's one thing to babysit a kid for a day and be like, oh, we didn't watch TV at all or whatever. Well, yeah, of course, because you're a new person and he's super excited. But like, I just feel like if you're loving your kid and your kid is thriving, and your kid, Harper, is very social, he's very interactive, you know what I mean? Like, he, for the most part, has hit all of his milestones. My thing is like, as long as your child is doing well and it's not harming them. Now, if they're starting to be like reclusive, or all they want to do is watch TV and it's like a big issue, then that's a whole nother thing, you know? I also don't want TV to be like an issue where they feel like deprived of it. Does that make sense? Like, you know, like kids who like never have been allowed to eat sugar, and then all of a sudden they go to college and then they're just like snorting sugar down the table because they just go wacko crazy with it. Like, I just feel, again, balance. Like, that's
moderation, balance, I think is great. Yeah. That's what we're trying.
So I high five to both Jana and Monique. No guilt, no mom guilt. Y'all are doing a great job. Just love your children.
All our kids will get together and they'll enjoy talking about the shows they enjoy.
Exactly. Like, Harper watched Wall-E for the first time last night.
Oh,
y'all probably
my gosh.
First of all, that is the sweetest movie ever. And such a good lesson in exercise. And I mean, like, there's such good, like, moral things to learn, like, also in these movies, I think are great. So anyways, that's it. Let's see. Okay. Oh, Shania Dory or Dory, I'm not sure. Dory, I'm not really sure how to say her name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways,
this might be your first comment, so hi.
I was gonna say I don't recognize your comment. I recognize your picture though. I've seen your picture somewhere else. Maybe on Instagram. Maybe, I don't know. Her nickname is Birdie, or Lady Bird, which I love that, and she loves how mine is O-Bird. And yeah, Ben's been calling me O-Bird for over 20 years, I guess now. So that is like my, that's why my Instagram is at the O-Bird. Ben can put it down here, so y'all can all go follow if you're not. It's lots of pictures of Harper and stuff about me and SoulCycle. And
it's okay, baby.
Amy Boyd asks for Q&A, how did you decide on Harper's name? I just love it. Also, prayers for Manchester. So
I'll do a quick thing. I think we've maybe said it before. It means, Harper Ellis word means bravely I sing, the Lord is my God. Ellis is the British form of Elijah, which means the Lord is my God. And Harper, it can be a surname, but it also was a name for if you are a harpist or a singer or musician. It also can mean brave. So we put that together and named that. Obviously, Harper Harper also honors Bob Harper,
Yep.
who was a big part of Olivia's life and our life, and just, you know, was a big part of that. And so we really prayed about it. And it's funny because we were really wanting to be Harper. She wanted to be a middle name, and I was like, I don't know, I think it might need to be a middle. And then I went to this retreat, and this guy got up, and I'd never heard this word. It's an old worship song, and he just started singing it, and he was like, there's a harp in my heart, and only you can play it. And I was like, oh my gosh, it has to be Harper. That's it. That's the name.
And then the guy that you worked with at that thing, he had Harper Construction.
He worked for Harper Construction. That weekend when I was on the retreat, like, we were trying to really praying about what it should be. And we really believe that. We believe that God has a name.
Totally.
And that's really, really important to us.
And then my mom and I, like that same weekend, I went down because I was so very pregnant at that time. I went down to Mobile, and my mom and I were at Nuke's, which, by the way, if you live in the South and you have a Nuke's near you, I'm so jealous because Nuke's is one of my most favorite places to eat. They have the best salads ever. But anyways, and they had all this like local art hung up by this one particular artist, and you could buy it, like it was just all hanging on the walls, like, you know how restaurants do that sometimes. And the name sign on the bottom of every single one of them was Harper. There was probably like 30 paintings in there, and I was just like, well,
I didn't know that.
yeah, I told you that.
You know, dad brain.
Anyways.
But yeah, so that's it. So we love it. And then I wrote the song, which you guys heard at his 1-year compilation. I'll link it below. But that I wrote a song with that name right there. And this guy is being crazy, so I'm gonna let him go and be crazy. Anyway, that's what you get for Q&A in the car. Okay.
Exactly. This is from Elzet Robertse,
our South African friend.
Yes. The comment is, not sure if you saw the comment or managed to listen to some of the African-inspired gospel music that was sent, and what you thought of it.
I did. I haven't got to listen to it in depth, but I went back and looked for your comment, and I didn't see it. It was just one of those weird things that I didn't see.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you said it, because I just wouldn't have missed it. So I went and looked at it and pulled it up on Spotify too, so I can listen. But it was quite a story. I mean, it was really amazing. So I'm excited. Thank you, Elzette. I'm super excited. There was a lot of songs that I knew, but to hear those arrangements that were that way, and then I think your relative, I think your uncle, I think it was, if I'm maybe getting it wrong, was a part of that. So I'm so excited. Thank you for sharing that. That was great. Thank you.
Let's see. Heather Nathanson also said she walked by a dig-in coming soon in Boston. So all
Good
this hype
for
for the
you,
Lord,
Heather.
she can't wait to try.
Good
So
for you, Heather.
my favorite thing to get the dig-in, for those of you who ever are either in New York or obviously now in Boston, they're probably moving all over the place, is chopped chicken, greens as my base,
Brown
broccoli, or Ben likes brown rice, I get the greens, broccoli, sweet potato, half an avocado with salt and olive oil.
That chicken is
Delicious. And it is dark meat
stuff.
chicken, so if you don't like dark meat, they also have a roasted chicken that gets sliced. But man, that chopped chicken is where it's at.
it's good.
Deidre Hahn asked, Olivia, how do you balance working full-time and the role you have as a music pastor's wife? I know that churches require you to be in so many places and to be available. How do you balance that? It's really hard, to be honest with you. And you know, I've been more successful at it at times than others. My biggest, what I've always viewed as being a pastor's wife, is my responsibility and the biggest role I play is to be a support to my husband and to be a support to Ben, to be, you know, to always talk to him about what's going on, about always like praying with him and talking about things, and then obviously I try to go to as many things as I possibly can. I hop around to a lot of the different campuses because Ben hops around a lot of different campuses, but it is really hard, especially because I work a lot on Sundays. So that's always it's just a tough thing, and it's been one of the things I think for me it's just hard. It's really hard for me. I struggle with that because I want to be there every single Sunday, and I want to be I would love to be like a bigger part and things like that, but this, for whatever reason, this season I've had to work, my job has just
the way it's worked out. And you know, you have a ministry yourself, and Soul Cycle, and we view it that way. It's not as traditional, and actually it took them some getting used to. I think now that we've been there long enough, they know our hearts. Does that make sense? And
I can tell you, like, all the leadership at Shelter Rock, they've always been so supportive of me, and I just have an open door, like, invitation to both Pastor Steve and Pastor Frank's office if I ever need anything or have ever had any concerns over the years. Like, and I have sat down a couple times with Pastor Steve and just, like, shared my heart, and it's been really good. You know what I mean? And they're always so great. But I really do consider what I do at Soul Cycle my ministry. And for people that think that might be kind of weird, that, like, Spin by Soul Cycle is, they give you kind of like an open door policy to just really share your heart with people. And they may not use that vocabulary, but vocabulary, I mean, it's all the same. I'm speaking about true fundamental values of humanity and who we are. And I believe that, for me personally, that's heavily steeped in Christianity and my faith. But the truth is the truth, you know what I mean? No matter what you want to wrap it in. So for me, I talk about, like, today I talked all about fear. I talked about how, because, with all this stuff going on in Manchester, how fear will so easily, like, slip in the cracks of your life and steal your life away, like, bit by bit, until all of a sudden you don't even realize it, but you're just in the corner of your life in the dark, scared. And I mean, how we have such an opportunity, the way we work at Soul Cycle, to really look at these kind of things in the eye, these big, things to celebrate and or things to fight, and look at them in the eye and really overcome some of these things by, really through exercise, through making something really difficult, you know what I mean? So that's really, and I've had so many people have major life breakthroughs in my class, and, like, stop, I had a girl recently come up and tell me, she was like, my therapist told me that I can come off of my anti-anxiety medicine. She was like, I've been on anti-anxiety medicine for the last, like, 8 years, and I haven't been able to function living here. And since taking your class the last 2 years, I have been able to wean myself off of them. And, like, that to me, and she was like, that is because of your class. Like, she said that. And to me, I was like, that is what the church wants to be anyways.
Absolutely. No, I mean, I think of St. Francis. He says, preach the gospel. If necessary, use words. I mean, it's not just about your words, it's about sowing into people. And I always think that, I had this thing about her class. It was a couple years ago, right before Harper was born, but I just really felt like, I'm a worship leader, like the traditional form, well, not traditional, but contemporary worship leader, in the sense of I stand up and lead worship songs, and people pray and read scripture and all this stuff. But I really felt like, that in her class, in some capacity, Olivia was like a worship leader, and I was like, but I don't understand what that means. How's that even possible? And I felt like the Lord say that the truest form of worship is a life changed, is a life broken on the altar before Him. Someone's life is vastly changed. Well, you take that person who's off those meds, they've overcome anxiety. Well, that's a form of worship. You've led that person in worship, even if they don't know how to put that name on it yet, or this. I'm not talking about the theological, implications of this. I mean, there's lots to be talked about, but in the end, God is concerned with that. Right. So anyway, I digress on that.
Yeah, no, I love that.
That to me is related to the church, and I just think it took a long time to try to, it's just not a traditional relationship necessarily we have, but that's okay. It shouldn't be.
And I feel like also, it's so interesting. Like, people all the time ask me, they're like, well, why don't you sing anymore? Oh my gosh, like, don't you miss it, and this, that, and the other? And because Soul Cycle for me is so important and rewarding, and how many experiences like that I had during Biggest Loser through what Bob and Jillian helped me work through, and I'm now able to do that in my own way with Soul Cycle. Like, not that opera was not like what I was supposed to be doing, or to belittle it or anything, because it is its own form of communication with people, and through music, and through, like, emotion and whatever. But, like, I'm proud of what I do there, and I just think it's important work. It just is. So
absolutely.
Anyways.
So.
This is from Jennifer Herman. She said, I'm curious how Olivia sustains her schedule when teaching. Sometimes 3 to 4 classes in a day. I can't imagine the calorie burn she achieves in a day. And while I know we only see part of your day, I'm still curious how many calories she eats in a day, roughly-ish, to keep her energy level up. Yes, I exercise a lot, but as you all have seen, just over the last, like, what, year and a half that we've been doing. Oh wait, no, we didn't do it in a year yet. No,
not a year yet.
Oh
August 1st will be a year.
So even in a year, and you know, over the last years, like, you know, my weight has definitely gone up and down. Obviously, with being pregnant, and then losing the baby weight, and then, you know, just over the years getting down really, really low and then coming back up again. I mean, it's just like a constant, like, balance. So the reason I'm saying that is you can't ever outwork a bad diet. That's what I was gonna say. So there have been times that I've gone through Soul Cycle where I've been heavier and still working out and still able to ride my bike. I mean, granted, it's so much harder to ride and exercise when you're heavier. It just is harder. So basically, what I try, like right now, what I'm trying to do, because it varies, like it depends on, like, if I'm my weight has gone up a little bit and I'm trying to get back down, or if I'm just like sustaining or whatever. So right now, my weight hasn't gone up per se, but I am trying to, a couple years ago, before I had Harper.
Sorry, it's
all right. I was down one of my lowest points before, since Biggest Loser, and I'm just trying to see if I can get back down there. It's not like life or death. I don't have like a time frame. I'm just working on it, you know. That's also a big victory for me, because I always have some kind of time limit. Like, I gotta lose 30 pounds in a month. That's an old habit. How many times y'all done that? Like, oh great, I've got a month, I can lose 50 pounds. Hey, if I lose 3 pounds in a month, I would be thrilled with that. So anyways, but as far as calories go, I try, if I'm trying to lose weight, stay around the 1500 range, even with all that exercise. Again, because please remember, my body is also very conditioned to this type of exercise, because I've been doing it so many years, and I'm still always doing things to, like, shake it up within my workout, but I don't burn as many calories now as I did 5 years or 6.5 years ago, or whatever. Does that make sense? Or 6 years ago. Anyways, y'all get the point. So, I hope that answers your question. I don't know. I mean, like, you also have to know what works for you. I mean, I'm not saying that that's like but 1400 is kind of like the bog standard, like Weight Watchers, all the weight loss. Yeah. The FDA always says 1400 calories for women to lose weight. And really, I mean, if people would argue, and that's fine, but you really do want to create a deficit. Yeah. If you want to lose weight. So you want to burn more calories than you're taking in. Yep. And which is really hard.
It's really hard, yeah.
If you're eating 1400 calories, that's a lot of working out. And, like, you also have to remember, at rest, I think, like, at rest, my body probably burns, if I never even moved off the couch, probably about 11 or 1200 calories. Anyway, so just with one spin class, I should be at a deficit of maybe a couple hundred calories, maybe, yeah. And so then over that, but if I go over that, y'all see how that math works. Anyways, and I know people argue, and people are like, oh, it's not about that, it's about, like, counting your fats and macros and blah, blah. I don't subscribe to any of that, and I'm sorry, I just don't. I've tried it all the different ways.
Believe me,
calories in, calories out works the best.
When you came from Biggest Loser and you were like, yeah, it's just really about calories, I was like, dang, we tried everything else but that.
I mean, seriously, like, I try to count them like carbs and doing this.
You know why? Because that was the hardest, and nobody wants to do it.
Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to deprive themselves at all, and it's because of our flesh and all the stuff that I've talked about recently. Like, I've been, like, praying before I eat, like, you know, Lord, bless this food to the nourishment of my body, and let it strengthen the part of my flesh that is weak. You know what I mean? The part that doesn't want to do good. So, anyways. Yep. Yes, prayers for Manchester. Everybody keeps saying that. Yep. I totally agree. And then Jane says something, Olivia, I wish you were still doing opera. You are wonderful. Thank you so much. And you know, I loved doing that. And maybe I would love to eventually one day get to a point where I could take lessons again, just for my own personal, because I love to sing and I love.
And at some point too, we may be at a place in our life change, you know, whatever, where you're able to sing again at church and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
You love that. You grew up doing that. I love you doing that.
I would love to sing in the opera chorus. I think that's so much fun. So, you know, who knows? I've been to, Laura Wilson was saying she's been to Good Enough to Eat, because if you can believe it, my married last name is Good Enough, which I think that's
amazing.
Cool.
That's so cool.
I couldn't resist going. We visited a few years ago. We had to buy a onesie for my baby that said Good Enough to Eat. So cool. Really? I love that. I thought that was so great. I read that comment the other day. I thought it was cool. Let's see.
I do feel like in this situation we should do some kind of carpool karaoke or something.
Oh, that's so funny. I think that's it, because before that we didn't announce the.
There might just scroll a little bit more, because before we announced it, I think.
Was there questions? I'm looking.
Kate, CAT, from our Australian friend. I feel like there was one, but maybe I'm wrong. And listen, if we miss it, we'll do it again. Thank you, like LZ did. If we miss it, just put it again.
Thank you, Sloan, for your comment on my little weight loss breakthrough temptation video. That was just like an extra video. Because sometimes when Ben, like sometimes I just do those like random like rants, and I always tell Ben, like, you don't have to put that on there. I was just kind of like fleshing out like what I was thinking.
Please, y'all want to see
this? But I always think, oh gosh, people are like, what is she talking about? So I so appreciated your comment, Sloan, and that you like, that resonated with you. And it's just, yeah, I've really lately I've even noticed like, because since all that happened, it's not like I haven't eaten anything off plan or anything like that. I have had treats and things like that, but there's been such a different feeling, and I've even noticed a difference in my appetite, which is really interesting, because I always am such a how much can I cram in kind of gal, and so that's been really good.
It's good.
It's been good. Yeah.
Well,
so I think that's
it. This might actually now hold the world's record for the longest We Are the Worst video.
Yeah.
But hey, you guys all seem to like it, so.
So, I mean, I just like always want to say, I mean, to everybody, how much like, how appreciative like I am of you guys. And it's just kind of a weird and wonderful thing that like I know at any point that we can just pick up a camera and talk to you guys. Like, a lot of people don't have that, and I love the fact that you all talk to one another, and this has become exactly what I hoped it would. You know what I mean? And I keep saying I'm gonna share it on my social media and we're gonna welcome all these people in, but like I don't know. I've just been so selfish with it, I feel like, you know.
Well,
and plus, nobody may even be interested in it.
You guys had a great idea about that trailer with us singing that little song. And I'm just gonna cut together all kinds of like footage of each person, but it's gonna be real short. Y'all saw that was like 30 seconds long. And so then if she wants to, maybe that will be a good thing to put on her Instagram or something like that. Totally. As simple as that. And it may not even be a bunch of new people, but it may, you know, at least they'll know, and there you go.
Exactly. So I just like, again, just want to thank you guys so much, and everybody like wishing us to feel better and everything, which I feel so much. Today is the first day I've actually felt. I'm still coughing.
You didn't cough nearly as bad last night. The night before, you were really coughing. And you had said to me, you were like, when I take this NyQuil, I don't really cough that much. And then I went in the next room, and it was like, oh my gosh, is there a lung on the floor? I don't really understand what's happening.
I mean, I even after I said that, I was like, oh man, why'd you even put that out there?
I know. So, well, if you made it to the end of this video, good. You are a true We Are the Worst.
If you made it to the end of this video, comment. What should we have them comment?
We should have something. We should have like a little code or something. Just put
Harper for president.
Harper for president.
Harper for president.
Yeah, if you came.
You made it to the end. Harper for president.
Harper for president.
I'm getting out of this car. Oh, it looks like they're filming a movie. I'm getting out of this car. I'm going to go teach these people Soul Cycle and lay some truth on them.
Do it, Mom.
Wouldn't it be cool if one day I did a We Are the Words ride and everybody could come and we could all ride together?
Yeah, that sounds great.
That would be super fun.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you, Harper for president.
Subscribe, like, comment, share it with a friend. Say hi to somebody in the comments that you've never said hi to before. That's
I
another
like
good
that
one.
too.
I make people do that in my class all the time. People are always like, oh man, I'm gonna have to talk to somebody. This is horrible. Talk to somebody you don't know. It might change their life. You never
That's
know.
right.
All right. See you later.
Love you guys.
Bye.